Warm good morning to everyone. I hope it's a happy morning to all of us. I think if all of you can mute yourself so that we can get started. Firstly, big thank you to Suresh Soniji and Suresh Dumani for hosting this for us at such short notice. And it's a pleasure for all of us to be here. So I'm going to ask Mrs. Suresh Soniji to get started with a small prayer. And then Suresh Dumani ji will give a small introduction and then we'll start off. So, Mr. Suresh Soniji, please proceed to start off.
Suresh Soniji. Has he joined the meeting?
Yeah, I think I saw his name on the list. Yes.
Okay. Suresh Soniji was supposed to start the meeting with a small silent prayer for everyone. So let us start a meeting with a silent prayer for all the health workers working day and night for all of us. Just take a minute from your meeting and let's do a small silent prayer, please. Yeah. This Zoom meeting has been arranged for all our friends, many of the mobile dealers. I have requested Vikas and Sunil Chawla and Social B team to arrange a meeting because the need of the day is sitting at home. It's better we plan a proper. This is the time we can plan properly and we can work 360-degree how to promote our business. So social media platform is being used by me from last 10 years and it has definitely benefited me. So I would want my friends also to get benefited. So I requested Social B team to come out with a meeting where they can explain how you can reach out to your customer even in this lockdown period. It is very important for us to keep in touch with the customers, with your friends through a social media in lockdown period also. They'll be able to explain you how you can reach out with the with your customers. Vikas, you can take from here, Vikas.
Perfect. Thank you, Suresh, and thanks once again for hosting us. I think it's a pleasure to be here. So we're going to spend the next 30 minutes or so talking a bit about digital and how any business, even if it's a small business, even if you're a retail store, even if you have your own consulting business, insurance business, any business, how can you really use digital to succeed? So I hope everyone can see my screen. So I think, as Suresh was mentioning, I think digital is become mainstream. Everyone is using it. At the moment, about 55 crore internet users are there, including smartphone internet users. And there are obviously multiple channels that they use, and WhatsApp being the biggest, which I think all of you are aware, and I think all of you found out about this session on WhatsApp as well, is being able to kind of use all these platforms, and that's how social media is actually growing. And because of the lockdown, a lot of this is also growing. So be it social media sites, be it news websites, gaming, all your Hotstars and Amazon Prime, all of them are also massively growing, and we're already seeing a 25% growth in these apps across India. And everything is going virtual. And 1 month ago, if I'd asked you whether you'll attend a Zoom session like this on digital marketing, most of you may not have. But today, we have even concerts going virtual, events, conferences, even catching up with friends is now going virtual, and that's definitely going to be here for some more time. And if you look at 100 years ago when the Spanish flu hit the world, keeping in touch with people was still important even back then. This is a small advertisement from the New York Telephone Company way back And today, of course, you have Jio and others saying, take the data, take the talk time, and keep in touch with people and consume content on time. And that need to keep in touch has still remained even after all these years. And what's amazing to us is that almost 100 crore people in India will actually still get internet access over the next 10 years. Right now, as per the latest figures, the number is 55 crores. But by the time the next 10 years, we will have almost 100 crore additional Indians who will get access. And that's really what makes it exciting. So if you've not already started using digital for your business, there's never probably been a better time. And we're already seeing that there is a decline in offline media because you're not traveling outside, so you're not seeing the billboards. Even cinemas are going to take much longer to come back. So we are seeing a lot of the offline media is going to slow down, and the online media is starting to pick up. And that's something you'll see even in your own behavior. If you look at your day, what have you been doing over the last 3-4 weeks? A lot of it has been online, and that's definitely changing everyone's behavior as well. So we're going to quickly cover 4 topics. One is the basics. How do small businesses use this? And how does this really impact business results? Because it shouldn't just impact things online, but eventually needs to get you new customers and get you more of them. And finally, can you also learn the skill so that you yourself can do it rather than getting experts? How can you yourself learn the skill to grow your business using digital? So in terms of digital marketing, typically there are multiple areas, be it social media, be it your website, be it your app, if some of you have it, advertising on Google, social media, email marketing, WhatsApp marketing, display. So there's so many things that you can do on digital that it's a very, very vast topic, but we'll try and cover some of the key areas today. There are multiple benefits of why digital really works. One is you're able to reach a maximum number of customers that are relevant to you. And you can target people who matter to you. For example, if you have a store, let's say in Nugambakam, and you want to, actually target people in a certain radius, you may be, let's say, in House Cross in Delhi, and you want to target, let's say, a 3-kilometer radius around House Cross. You can today do that in a powerful manner and target people that matter to you. And the budgets can be fixed as per what results you're getting. So it's not that you have to commit and say, I have to put this much money. You can start off as low as 100 rupees a day and keep increasing it as and when you get results, and even switch it off when you don't get results. And of course, they can be measured. So any result that you get on digital can be measured and optimized. And that's really the benefit of using digital over, let's say, print or other mediums. So how do businesses use it? And we'll cover different areas here. And if you have any questions, please do put it in the chat and we'll definitely take it towards the end. This is always an example I show of a rickshaw driver who created his website almost 15 years ago. And he has his rickshaw actually outside one of the Taj hotels in Chennai. And he's been getting customers for the last 15, 16 years through this website, even before Uber and Ola came in, right? Even before Uber, Ola, this person was actually, his name is Samson. He's been getting business through his website all these years. And that's really what's amazing, is that if someone like him can benefit from the digital medium, then there's no reason why all of us cannot really benefit from the digital medium. So typically the website is a good starting point, even if it's a basic one. There are platforms that allow you to build a mobile-friendly website that makes it easier for anyone to use the website. And important to see how the user experience can be tackled, because people like the conversation to be easier. So if you look at this website, for example, the phone numbers I mentioned on top, there is a live chat here. It's easy for anyone to reach out to this company, and that's how we should look at the experience as well. Is it easy for the customer to find information? Is it easy for the customer to reach out to you? That's really what's important to keep in mind when building something like this. And it's important even for B2B businesses. It's not just consumer businesses. You could be in insurance, you could be a CA, you could be doing any kind of business. It's important even in those kind of businesses as well. And one thing we've always seen is that creating specific pages for specific services or products really helps. For example, In this case, you see it's for a home healthcare service. It's a small company based out of Chennai and Bangalore. And they've used a specific service of that and then built what we call as a landing page, which is nothing but a specific landing page for a service or product. And that really creates better impact. And they've also done smart things where they have buttons at the bottom. So when you're on a mobile device, you can quickly reach out to them via the phone number or through the inquiry form. And the good part is today you can build these websites almost free of cost without any technical or engineering knowledge. You can actually build these websites. These are two places where you can build them: Wix.com and Weebly.com. These are great resources. They have free packages as well as limited packages starting from 400-500 rupees a month, where you can build your own website, edit them, and make it easier. And for some of you who are doing offline retail, there is obviously Google Maps that has a lot of information, and Google Maps actually doesn't require to have a website. All you need to do is to go to Google Maps and create your own listing, and that can be a very powerful way of getting customers. And I've quickly listed down some areas here that you can do to improve your ranking when it comes to the Google Map listing, which is what you see on the left-hand side here. One key thing is to look at the reviews. How do you get reviews? You need to ask customers for it. You need to tell them that we would love to hear your feedback and tell them to leave that feedback on Google Maps. You should find time to also reply to these reviews, because Google also looks at, are you free? All of that can be updated today on the Google Map listing, and that's really something that could be powerful for any retail store. Even if you have one retail store, this can be a powerful way of getting customers to come to your store. And one of the key things we're seeing is that a lot of the users coming online in India are actually people who speak multiple languages, not just English. So they could be speaking Tamil, they could be speaking Bengali, they could be speaking Malayalam, they could be speaking Gujarati. And it's important to keep in mind that you need to find a way to incorporate this into your communication, be it your website. And in fact, Wix and Weebly also allow you to use Google Translate to also have multiple versions of the website, be it in Tamil, Bengali, Gujarati, and other languages. And one of the key things we keep getting asked is, how do you rank on Google? If someone's looking for my product, someone's looking for my service, how do we rank? One of the key ways to do that is to create interesting and engaging content in your website and see how you can update that on a regular basis. And that's one of the key things that matter. Of course, there are a lot of technical elements there, but if you can create unique content which is relevant to your customer, that's probably the best way to rank on Google. And it's not just any content. That content has to be relevant to your customer. It should reward that customer in some way. And reward here doesn't mean a monetary reward. It could be rewarding them with something to smile, with something to be happy about, something they can engage with, and something that they would want to share. And often we see so many WhatsApp forwards of videos and other content. These are things that are share-worthy content that all of us pass around. And it's important to make sure that you are, finding the sweet spot in terms of what you want to say as a company or a business and what your user is looking for. Because nobody wants to consume content which is a blatant marketing sell. They want something that's useful to them, and that's really how it works. So if you're, for example, let's say you're a mobile phone retail store, you also want to give them information that's relevant to them. Can you compare 3 phones which are at a similar price point and show them which one is better and why, right? Make it useful for them so that they can choose the right phone for themselves. This was actually a research done across the globe in terms of what kind of content really works. And they found that these are the different kind of formats that work, right? Videos definitely work the best. List work really well. So list of top, let's say, top 5 phones below 10,000 rupees that work really well. Or for example, how to, right? So how do you repair your, device if something goes wrong? So there are different kinds of content that you can really create that can be impactful. For example, for one of our smaller e-commerce clients, uh, they are into pet food and pet toys and pet products. We created a different kind of list on pet-friendly restaurants in Bangalore. So you see here, we're not directly selling the product, but we're being useful to anyone who loves pets. And that's the target audience that they really have. So you're still being relevant to the audience, but not doing a blatant sell, which is what customers today really like. And you can find different ways of that content being useful, be it healthcare, be it insurance, be it any industry that you are in. How can you create content that's relevant, engaging, and useful? That's really what helps on Google. When it comes to social media, be it Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or even WhatsApp, it's important to stay relevant. And if you look at Amul, have been doing this for years together, and it's very important to see how we can stay relevant and create content that's relevant in these times. Even Biscuit, for example, did something really interesting with their logo. Something very simple, but still communicates the message of being safe. And that's really where your creativity comes into play. And it's important to keep the human element, especially in these challenging times. And you see many of the restaurants, even smaller restaurants, talking about what they are doing to keep safety and hygiene in their restaurants. This is actually a really amazing example of the Nagpur police, and I'm showing this because it doesn't matter if you're a small business, big brand, if you are from the government, if you're an NGO. Ultimately, it boils down to how creative you can be. And this example is where they've used Bollywood and Hollywood to talk about staying at home and staying safe. And one key shift that we're already seeing, which many of you probably see, is a key shift towards e-commerce. And why we are mentioning this is because from whatever we've understood from research across all the research done in the world, is that the virus is going to stay with us for at least 1.5 years or so. Yes, the intensity will reduce in the next few weeks, but the virus is going to be here for some time till we get a vaccine or till we get immunity to the virus. And that means we need to be prepared for a reality where a lot of us are working from home, a lot of us are staying away from each other. And that's one of the reasons why e-commerce is likely to grow as well. But the good news is India is one of the few countries that will still continue to grow even during the COVID-19 virus. And this was yesterday's news where the International Monetary Fund projected that India is going to grow at almost 2% this year. And India is one amongst the 2 countries that they believe will grow. India and China are the only 2 countries that will grow this year. And all the other countries in the world will actually be declining and shrinking. And this is actually a great quote from Barack Obama's chief of staff, is that whenever there's a crisis, it's an opportunity for you to do something you did not want to do before. It kind of forces you to think differently. It forces you to change. And that should be an opportunity that you should take up at this point. So we are definitely seeing that there will be an increase in e-commerce, and any business that's digital first or delivering that service or product through digital. And this is actually data from Google Trends, which shows that the moment the lockdown actually started, we saw a huge spike in e-commerce companies, and that's definitely going to stay and continue as well. And even restaurants and food businesses will need to evolve. This is in fact a recent image from Hong Kong, which shows how restaurants actually dealing with the distancing, social distancing, and this is going to happen in India as well, and it is a reality. So all businesses need to find a way to evolve around this. and this is a question I want to leave with you, is that on 4th of May, when complete lockdown is probably going to be lifted, are you going to walk into your favorite restaurant, or would you rather order from an online app that shows you the temperature of the chef who's cooking your food? Because at the end of the day, each business and each app will need to evolve, keeping in mind the safety and hygiene of their customers. And that's what's going to make all of this really exciting as well. And there are easy ways to go online. I think Shopify is one of the websites that allows you to build your own e-commerce website in a matter of few days. And that's definitely something we would recommend for many of you to kind of look at. And it's really, really easy to do that. The packages start from, I think, around 2,000 rupees per month. And they have everything integrated. Again, you don't need technical knowledge. You can automate many of the things. All you need is, of course, images of your products and information that you want to put down. And that's really what is required to make this happen. And there are also websites and apps that allow you to integrate with all the top courier companies in the country. So you don't need to go separately to Blue Dart, separately to First Flight, separately to Professional Courier. You can actually get all of these together in a single package. And there are companies like ShipRocket that actually make that happen seamlessly. So you get a flat rate depending on what you're sending, and they'll figure out who to send it to. And again, if you're selling through multiple websites, let's say you want to sell on Amazon, you want to sell on Flipkart, you want to sell on Snapdeal, you want to sell on Paytm, there are websites like Downtay that actually allow you to integrate all this so that you're able to manage your inventory more seamlessly. Because you do not want to manage your inventory in 5, 6 different places. You can manage your inventory in one single place itself so that it's easier for you to manage. So e-commerce and starting your own e-commerce store has never been easy. And with the surge that we are seeing, I think this probably been never a better time to start a digital first business and focus on this. And the last piece I really want to talk about is, how do you use digital media and digital advertising to acquire customers? And again, it needs to eventually lead to revenue and business for all of you. Otherwise, none of this really makes any sense. So we need to find a way to have low cost and effective advertising to acquire customers and build a brand. And if you look at, there are two big players that deal with this. Obviously, Google is one of them, which controls almost 80% of all banner ads that you see on the internet, as well as, of course, Google search, where you can search and get what you want. And of course, the second one that's really large is Facebook. And even today, people almost check 14 to 15 times in terms of Facebook and Instagram. And Facebook and Google together control almost 85% of the entire digital marketing that happens in India. And the targeting today is so powerful. I can target people in my neighborhood. I can target people who are getting married. I can target people who are looking to buy a car. I can target people who bought a phone 1 year ago, so that I can tell them to buy a new phone today. The kind of targeting that is available today is really powerful, and that's really what makes it even more amazing as well. And the radius targeting, like I was saying, is very powerful. You can go down to a minimum of 1 kilometer radius, and maximum, of course, you can go to any radius that you want. And it's relevant even if you're a single retail store, single service that you provide. This, for example, is a music store, and they basically have lots of different brands that they sell, and we've been using Facebook and Google to really drive people to come into their store and buy it, and that's how it can be used. And for many of you who don't have a website, Facebook and Instagram have what is called lead ads, and which essentially is ads that you can leverage within Facebook itself, so that it's easier to generate inquiries. So if some of you do not want to sort of build a website, that these are also great options to acquire customers. So the question also is, how does all this impact business? How do you really track it? And in our view, the likes, comments, or shares are actually not that important. What really is important important is, are you getting revenue and sales? Are you getting inquiries or leads? And are you able to build your brand by reaching the right people and engaging with them? And that's really what matters. So we would actually recommend you do not look at likes, comments, shares, because they are not a business metric. They don't really move your revenue. Just because you have more likes on your post doesn't mean you're going to get more revenue tomorrow. And there are obviously different metrics that you can track. If you're tracking online sales or inquiries, uh, then you can track the revenue, you can track the traffic, you can track the number of inquiries you got from digital. And if you're trying to build your brand, then there are other metrics that you can track. You can track the number of people you reached, how many times they saw it, which is what we call as impressions, mentions, and things like that. And there are also tools to allow you to track phone calls as well. So many of us rely on phone calls to get inquiries. So there are tools like Knowlarity and Exotel that allow you to track where did this inquiry come from. Did it come from your pamphlet that you gave away? Did it come from your newspaper ad? Did it come from digital? So we see Zomato, for example, has a unique number that is tracked. So it allows each restaurant to understand how many inquiries actually came from Zomato. And we actually see many companies doing that even for their hoardings, print ads, and everywhere. So with Knowlarity, you can have virtual numbers, and with these virtual numbers, you can track where is your phone call coming from. And that can be really, really powerful, because then you can actually understand whether digital is working, whether your pamphlet is working, whether your newspaper insert is working, what exactly is working for your brand. And for those of you who have offline retail stores, Google Maps, in fact, has powerful data. It actually shows you how many customers on a given day are calling you, how many of them are using Google Maps to see the directions to your store. It also shows you how many of them found the store via digital compared to your other mediums. And that's really what makes Google Maps also very, very powerful. So for all of you who have offline stores, this is also a great way. And all of this is free. None of this is chargeable. It's all free data that you can get to really understand. And you can also see patterns in terms of day of the week, what time of the day people are coming in, and other powerful data as well. So the final question to really ask all of you is that digital marketing, while it may seem complex, it's not very complex. And in fact, we feel that all of you in this room can actually learn the skill and use that skill to grow your business and to grow your revenue and customers. And in fact, there are a lot of, if some of you are looking at also, for your kids or other people, this is also a great career opportunity for people who want to start a new career as well. And in fact, look at the number of jobs. It's one of the hottest areas in the industry right now. So if anyone is looking to also get into this industry, it's also a great time to do that. And I really want to end with two last slides on courses that we have. So we've recently, because of Corona, we said we should impart knowledge and impart training. And that's how we started DigiGrad. So we have two programs right now. One which is focused on digital advertising, which can help you actually acquire customers. So this is focused on making you understand if you have a business, how can you acquire more customers using the online and digital medium? And we have an introductory price for that. And the other one we have is a more extensive one, which is a 2-month program, which covers all the areas that I spoke about. It will cover social media, it will cover Google, it will cover how do you acquire customers, how do you build your website. It's a more extensive program, which it's about an 8-week program that goes on, and it's completely online. And again, we have an introductory offer there. And I think we look forward to sort of seeing if some of you would be interested in these programs as well. So that sort of brings me to the end of our presentation. I have my email ID here in case somebody wants to reach out to me. I also have my colleague Abhishek here in case you'd like to reach out to any of us for this. So with that, I'm going to pause here and sort of take a few questions. And if anyone has any questions, please do leave them in the chat, and we'll answer them right now. think some of you are asking for the presentation. Definitely, it can be shared. We'll have it, shared across. We have a question from Anjali Bakija on what do you think about WooCommerce for building an e-commerce website? Definitely, WooCommerce is also a good option, but the only difference between WooCommerce and Shopify is that Shopify does not require any technical knowledge. WooCommerce will still require you to know a little bit of technical aspects to launch it, but WooCommerce is also a good option, especially if you have some technical support or technical help to make that happen. If there are any questions, feel free, I think, to ask. So we have a question from Pritesh Parekh on how do we make the best use of Instagram and Facebook if we don't have a website? That's a great question, Pritesh. I think being able to engage with customers, I think Suresh was mentioning about that as well in the beginning, is that you need to find a way to engage with your customers. And that means you can create content, you can even take pictures from your business and put it up there, and constantly keep in touch with them about your new products, about new offers. The second is it's also a great way to get new customers. So you can use Facebook and Instagram advertising to identify people who are relevant to you, and then either use lead forms to generate inquiries, or now you can also do click to WhatsApp. So you can actually tell them to click and come to your WhatsApp number, and then they can directly interact with you on WhatsApp. So the click to WhatsApp is again a very, very powerful feature that Facebook and Instagram have. So that's something that you can definitely try out as well today. Varun Ahuja has a more advanced question. Does affiliate marketing come under digital marketing? Definitely yes. Affiliate marketing is nothing but websites that allow you to, generate inquiries for your business. And these are websites that have a lot of audiences, a lot of people that come to their website. And definitely it is that should be tried, but it's definitely a more advanced technique. We would first recommend people to use Google and Facebook and Instagram and possibly TikTok before trying to explore affiliate marketing and other channels. Nandesh Bailey has a question. I've created a website. I want to know how to now drive customers to our website. I think there are, again, multiple ways to do this, Nandesh. One is definitely to start creating unique and engaging content, because that's what Google likes. So let's say you have a retail store which sells apparel. Now you want to be able to start putting up pictures of your, designs. You want to start talking about some of these designs and how they were made. You need to talk about what is unique about your brand as well, and that's one way to drive people from Google. You can also use, Facebook and Instagram to drive the traffic. So if you can start putting pictures of your products on Instagram, then you can have people actually seeing that and then coming back to your website as well. We have a question from Shakti on whether Google Ads are a good option for any consumer business or B2C business. Absolutely. Google Ads work for most businesses. It is definitely one of the more expensive mediums, Google Ads, but it is a very, very effective medium to be able to get the right inquiries and the right interest from your customers. So we would recommend you start off with a small budget and test it out. And even Google Ads, you don't need a website now. You can actually do what is called call-only ads, where they can directly call you instead of going to your website. So even that's an option that could be explored for the Google Ads. So we have RK who has a question on would paid boosting campaigns help increasing reach and likes, and is that the best way, or should we do organic growth? RK, unfortunately, on social media channels today, the organic reach is very, very small. So we would definitely recommend that you boost a little bit to increase the engagement on your content. Not necessarily to get more likes for your page, but let's say you have a very interesting line of new apparel that you've created for work from home, right? And you want to promote these apparel on Instagram. Now you want to go ahead and promote that product and that category of products, which can really help as well. Devi has a question on how do you use digital marketing to generate leads for new admissions for schools. In the education side, we've seen some great success coming in both from Google as well as Facebook, because on Facebook, you can identify people who are parents and go after only parents. And on Google, in fact, you can actually, go after people looking for it. People looking for a school in the area that you are in and things like that, right? So I think there are a lot of things that can be done both on Google and Facebook to sort of get that going. We have a question from Coffee Tales on how can we design good artwork, for social media. I think today there are a lot of tools out there that can allow you to do that. There's Canva, which is the most famous of them, CANVA, Canva. But there are many of them. There's iStock Editor. There's a Word Swag. There's something called Infogram. There are many tools out there actually, but Canva would be the best bet to create quick social media posts that really make sense. I think Suresh is recommending that we also share some more details about the course. Definitely, thanks for that, Suresh. So I think the digital advertising course that we are starting off this weekend on Saturday is actually a 30-hour program, which is going to cover various areas of how do you acquire customers via Facebook, via Google, via Instagram. What are the best case practices there? How can you generate inquiries? How can you build a brand? And also in terms of technical aspects that can help you succeed, right? And we'll also be giving you assignments so that we can actually test whether you've learned it or not. So it's actually being taught by experts who practice this on a day-to-day basis, and actually people who have direct training given by Google and Facebook themselves. So they are experienced trainers who will be delivering this. And in fact, DigiGrad is an IIM initiative, IIM alumni initiative. So we have the best of people actually delivering this course. So if anyone has specific questions, me and Abhishek will be here after the session in case you want to have specific questions as well. Anurag has a very interesting question. Is Instagram gaining broader consumer coverage than Facebook? Which one is better to engage, Facebook or Instagram? I think it really depends, Anurag. It depends on the industry you're in and the category you're in. Instagram is still very small compared to Facebook. Instagram has about 10 crore users, whereas Facebook has about 33 crore users in India. So Facebook is still very larger, but the audience profile in both these channels is different. Facebook has a slightly older audience profile, whereas Instagram is most of the Instagram audience is actually below 40, whereas the Facebook audience now is actually mostly between 30 to 50. So it really depends on who you're going after. And if you're especially going after people in smaller cities, then Facebook is still probably a better bet. But for most businesses today, they use both channels, if you ask. Srirajam has a question on how do you create business videos for social media marketing? What are good apps? Great question. There are again many apps. The one that I would recommend you try out is an app called Animoto, ANIMOTO, which quickly allows you to create videos with images. And if you have base images and base videos, basically it can help stitch it together for you very easily. I think even on Facebook itself today, you can create quick videos. There are ways of putting your images together and putting music together and creating quick videos. So even that would be a great option. I think Suresh is also asking, is there a special deal for people in this program, absolutely. What we are offering today is going to be even lower price. We are offering a special price of 5,000 rupees plus GST instead of the our introductory price was 6,500 plus GST, but for people in this group, we are offering it at 5,000 plus GST. So, Dhiren Shah has a question on, can you tell us a little bit about SEO and how important this is for small local businesses? For those who are unaware, SEO is nothing but search engine optimization, or essentially how do you rank on Google? How do you, when someone's looking for a product or service, how can you show your company or brand on SEO? I think for many small businesses, they rely on being discovered through digital, and that's why it's very, very important. And especially if you have an offline office or an offline space, then Google Maps can be very, very important from an SEO standpoint. So that's definitely something you should focus on, even if you're a small business. And we, in fact, when SocialBee started out, we used to get a lot of online inquiries, and even today, almost 40% of our inquiries come from digital, and that's how important it is for any business, including our own business as well. Parmeshwar has a question. I have a single store. Do I need a CRM tool or a customer relationship management tool? Not necessarily, Parmeshwar. I think many businesses rely on Excel sheets and WhatsApp groups and phone contacts to keep in touch, which is absolutely fine. You don't need a CRM. Typically, CRMs start making sense when you have more than 50,000 customers, more than 1 lakh customers to keep in touch with. That's really when a CRM starts making sense. Sunil Upari has a question on tourism and will digital marketing help with tourism? Definitely, I think travel and tourism is one of the areas which is heavily on digital, thanks to IRCTC, thanks to Make My Trip and Yatra. Digital is the way many of these bookings happen. A lot of people are possibly going to be looking for domestic travel at this point, because international travel may not happen as easily once the lockdown's lifted, but people do want vacations, they will want to travel, and they will be looking online for options and offers. So definitely something for you to kind of look at and explore. Ratish has a question. I'm already using Google Ads. How do I now get more customers via Facebook and Instagram? I think it really depends on which business you're in, Ratish. There are some businesses that are better equipped to leverage on Google rather than Facebook, Instagram. For example, in our experience, anyone who's in healthcare, anyone who's in insurance, we've seen Google work much, much better compared to Facebook or Instagram. But for example, let's say you are a fashion retail store, or you sell beauty products, or you are into travel and tourism, then even Facebook and Instagram can be a great way to find new customers and reach out to them. So it really depends on the industry and making it go there. Varun has a question on what are the chances of failing in digital marketing. There are lots of chances of failing. I think like everything else, if you don't do it correctly, then it will fail. And that's why it's important to understand the best case practices and understand what should you do and what should you not do. So the do's and don'ts need to be really understood well for you to succeed in digital marketing or succeed in marketing in general. And that's why it's important to learn those as well. CS has a question about pumps. His question is, are there any specific sites to promote industrial products? Yes, there are a few today. I think IndiaMart is definitely one of the largest ones in that space. But I think, it could also be people are looking for you in Just Style. So I think there are multiple websites, but IndiaMart and Just Style would be a good place to kind of start that. We have a question from Nandesh Belly on, is digital marketing effective for industrial products and digital applications? Absolutely. You know, I think for any business, it is important to kind of uh, leverage this. I think even if it's an industrial product, people are looking for it online. People are trying to compare, people are trying to find new vendors. Let's say I buy industrial products and I'm not happy with my current supplier. I'm eventually going to have to find a way to find a new supplier or a new vendor. And that's when digital also starts sort of playing an important role. So I think, it's important to start using that for even for industrial businesses as well. We have a question on Coffee Tales again on how do you figure out the right keywords for your business. I think Google has great tools for this. There's a Google Keyword Planner. That's a free tool again, but you can use the tool to understand which are the best keywords for your business. But the best way, really, if you ask me, is by doing it. Right? You have to do it. You have to find, best ways to test it out for yourself and see which ones are working. Suresh has a question on what is the duration and time of the course. Abhishek, would you like to answer that? I think Abhishek's not here, so I'll give you an answer. So I think currently we've scheduled it to be on weekends, and it's going to be from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. That's what's currently scheduled for. And we're looking at this program with 30 hours, like we said. And I think we are flexible because we're going to be starting another batch shortly as well. So if someone's not comfortable with this time, we would be having times in the evening as well. If people are interested in a weekday evening program, even that's an option that can be explored. But the weekend program that we're starting this Saturday, that is going to be in the morning on weekends. For those of you who are here, we also have a feedback form. Please do fill that up if you have any feedback. I think Mr. Suresh Oniji is finally here with us. We'd like to say a few words. I think we did, wanted to kind of see how to kickstart. But it'd be great to hear some thoughts from you, Mr. Suresh Oniji. Mr. Suresh Oniji, can you hear us? Would you like to say a few words?
I would like Suresh Oniji to address actually.
Yes. Is he online? I'm not. I think he is online. There are some questions on Zoom and whether it's safe. I think it's very safe, especially if you're using it with the password. I think it's very safe. We've been using Zoom for many years now, actually. So yes, there are challenges, but those challenges are there with many apps. But I think it's absolutely fine. As long as you're using the password, it is very, very safe. Suresh Jumani, would you like to close it? If Suresh Oniji, I'm not sure if he's able to hear us.
Thanks, Vikas, for briefing us about digital marketing. And definitely, I'm going to join this course in spite of being part of this digital marketing for last 10 years, but definitely I want to learn more appropriate way of reaching out to my customers. And details about this particular thing, please update it in the WhatsApp group.